there. Talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, yesterday was unveiled, and really a lot of fans at least storming that Mrsool Park in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, for the unveiling of the man that actually got a £175 million deal right now. That will be standing for the next 2 years as a player and 5 years as an ambassador. Good one for Ronaldo. CR7, as they call him, is there in Saudi Arabia, and he'll be showcasing his talent for the next 2 years when it comes to football.
So when I looked at it yesterday, for me it was an absolute spectacle. It was a joy to look at. You could see how captivating the scenes were. I was absolutely enthralled. And one thing that I really appreciated was the fact that you could see the admiration, the adoration, the love they have for Cristiano Ronaldo. And to be honest, he's due that. When you look at his time at Manchester United, every single negative report was about him. He's bringing the team back. He's holding the team back. His goals are the problem. Everything is fixated around him, but you could see how cherished he was in that team. Every single person was excited, hyped up, anxious to see Cristiano Ronaldo unveiled, and I wish him nothing but the best. I believe with his capabilities, he has the capacity to go on to be the star player in the league, and I know that when you look at his track record, and they say past actions are indication of future events, so obviously look at Cristiano Ronaldo and his professionalism, you say that it's going to be a great deal for Al-Nassr and Cristiano Ronaldo, and I hope both parties enjoy this deal.
Well, from the way it is, I want to take it in two ways now. His addition to that club has brought a lot of support and also followership. You saw that their Instagram page is growing, and also we saw how many people that have actually gotten the jersey of Ronaldo. And I noticed something about, I don't know what Ronaldo has done to Carragher and Gary Neville. Despite the fact that the man has moved on to Saudi Arabia, they still keep talking about him. That is still part of the reason why Manchester United, I still don't understand why attaching Ronaldo with Man U now, Carragher, Gary Neville.
Yeah, that's all called a bad belly in Nigerian language, because I don't know what the problem is with Ronaldo. Either I like it or not, he has moved on. He's already one of the highest paid players in the history of football. So I don't know why they are still, probably because they are being sentimental, probably because it's not an Englishman, and probably because he's at his age, they're no longer playing the game again. When they're at his age, you're not playing football, competitive football again. Probably that's why they're angry with him. So I don't really know what the problem is, but to him going to Saudi Arabia is really a good one for not only the club, but for actually the Saudi league also too, because from reports I've been hearing, it seems DSTV is trying to bring the league now into so we're able to watch it. And the likes of Igalo, we can see the likes of Igalo now, then Victor Abubakar and Luis Gustavo, they're the same team also too. So it's a very good one, but I don't really know why Carragher and the rest are angry. He's just bad belly.
I think he's hypocritical when you look at Carragher. And Ronaldo said this is best, his box office, he sells newspapers. Every single thing about Ronaldo sells, his marketability, he brings recognition to everywhere he goes. So obviously the only reason we're talking about Carragher and Gary Neville right now is because they had a lot to say about Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't think they should have been in the conversation if they never spoke about Cristiano Ronaldo. So it just goes back to the word, and it's hypocritical to an extent. When you look at what Haaland is doing, he's scoring as many goals as Ronaldo scored, by far more. But Man City have been set back. Man City are in a far worse position than they were last season. But I'm not seeing news outlets carry it that Haaland is bringing this team back, and Haaland may be detrimental to the team. So it's just Ronaldo. Ronaldo has never been a media favorite. He has never been loved by the media. Maybe it's as a result of his arrogance, his personality may not be loved and adored. But at least we can see that he's coming to Al-Nassr. He's loved, he's admired. There have always been positive responses from the Al-Nassr media. And I don't think he needs to focus on Carragher. It has already been set in stone that he's greater than Carragher, greater than Gary Neville. So I don't think he should actually be bothered by their response or their perception of this deal.
Well, even though it doesn't need to be bothered, but to some extent, Ronaldo, yes, he has moved on, but still, they keep hammering on this man. But let's just leave it aside. But for the fact that Al-Nassr right now, they got their man, they are happy, although that particular deal is having issues because Jorge Mendes, his agent, but from the way it is now, news came out that probably in a couple of days, they could be separating.
Yeah, actually, he has been eating his money for a long time. So now I think it's time for him to do spa. I don't know what happened. They might have personal issues, who knows? But I don't think he needs him again at 37.
The interview with Perez Morgan also added to it because it's like Mendes wasn't supporting him getting that particular interview done, and a lot of issues here and there. But right now, this particular deal, Mendes is not really part of it, and it's like Ronaldo is having at least full time to enjoy his money. Yeah, but really, Jorge Mendes has been with him for almost all the entire career, almost 2 decades now that they have been together. At times it's not always good to actually end it sadly.
But they've enjoyed it now. The agent enjoyed. He also enjoyed. So
So
there's nothing there.
So for me, what I just feel personally is that there was a lot of back and forth with Ronaldo and Jorge Mendes, because a lot of people say Jorge Mendes wanted Ronaldo to take the Saudi Arabian deal because of the huge and lofty commission that was going to come off it. I just look at Cristiano Ronaldo and look at Jorge Mendes. Jorge Mendes started his career with Cristiano Ronaldo. They've been together from day one. They've always had the most exemplary agent-player relationship. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, maybe Jorge Mendes has a point here. I don't think that interview was the best of action or the best plan of action from Ronaldo. And sometimes you need somebody in your camp that will tell you the truth, regardless of how much it's going to hurt your feelings or regardless of how little you may understand of it. So I just feel at this point, I don't think he's right, because Jorge Mendes is one of the best agents in the world. You go back to, I think, 2015, highest paid agent on the planet, because he represents so many. You can't be awful or you can't be selfish, you can't be bad at your job and have so many clients on the table. That's just business 101. So I just think he needs to repair that relationship with Jorge Mendes. We know how much of friends they are. He's gifted Jorge Mendes an island in the past. So,
what of if Jorge Mendes is being greedy?
We don't know that. That is the thing.
So
people are always going to carry negative news.
Yes. What of
about
he's being greedy about everything? What if he wants a huge share from that money from the deal?
First of all, obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo and Jorge Mendes, they have a contractual obligation. So there's a percentage that Jorge Mendes deserves or is warranted.
And he said he doesn't want him again. He said doesn't want him again. It's like,
I just think he's making the wrong move, because
no. You cannot say he's making a wrong move. It's just like, okay, I want
no,
you.
That's
I don't want
I feel he's making a wrong move, because I personally believe that you shouldn't cut someone off, because when I have an agent, when I have people around me, my brothers, my sisters, or my friends, I expect them to think objectively around me rather than bias and tell me the truth, regardless of whether my willingness to listen to it
not his brother
or not. No, I'm not giving that. No, they have a brother-like relationship.
No, I don't think that.
No, I think that
it's business. When it comes to business, there's no brother.
They have a brother-like relationship. When you look at the Ronaldo documentary, when you look at every single time he's flying out, when you look at the fact that Jorge Mendes always has a game, Jorge Mendes represents Fernando Torres, João Felix, Bruno Fernandes. You don't see him at all their games, but always see him as a Cristiano Ronaldo
because he's the biggest. He's the biggest
client. He's the biggest.
So what do you expect?
I just personally feel that
you have to pet him now.
I just personally feel that at this point,
he doesn't. To me, he doesn't need that guy again. He's 37.
No, it's not warranted. I don't think he should have cut time.
To me, if I don't need him again also too.
One thing Jorge Mendes has always done, he has always gotten Ronaldo the best deal. Throughout Ronaldo's career, if you look at from 2010 down to where we are now, he's always been among the top 3 best players on the planet. The only person that always supersedes him is when the Oscar deal went through to China and when Messi was at Barcelona. We know that they have the highest average pay in world of football. So I'm just looking at it and I'm saying, from a professional capacity, you need somebody around you that is going to think objectively rather than tell you things you want to hear.
What if his time things don't want to hear? Those are 2 things about. No, you said they'll be together right from. He has been with Ronaldo right from day one, but he's also gaining now. If Ronaldo has not been in his top form, Ronaldo is also doing his best. Okay, you are my agent. Okay, I'm playing the game. I'm doing my best to be at top form, and you're enjoying from me. So it's like a mutual.
Well, when you look at Jorge Mendes, and the fact that Ronaldo wanted to go, Jorge Mendes put all the balls in the basket and he tried his best. He put maximum effort. He proposed the deal to PSG, proposed the deal to Bayern Munich, look for the way they can work around the wage structure just to make sure Ronaldo fits into everything. Jorge Mendes actually tried his best. So for me, hearing that they are parting ways is just sad, because this relationship.
But it seems he didn't bring the Saudi deal for him.
No, I don't know the intricacies of how this deal came up.
Because now,
we don't know. It's all speculation.
She just leave it like that.
We do not know how this deal came about.
To me, Ronaldo is a matured man. He knows what is right, what is bad for him. He's 37 already, so
he should have known that the PS Morgan interview was bad for him.
But you have to say it's
right. You guys are actually at Ronaldo's issue. Let me go to EPL quickly. Let's talk about matches we actually play. Ronaldo will be enjoying his time with Saudi Arabia's team. Al-Nassr there, and we hope that he will bring the best for that particular team over there. Well, right now, let's look at EPL matches were played. Arsenal, yes, they have to share this, but against Newcastle, 0-0. It ended. You have Everton against Brighton. What happened to Everton at Goodison Impact? 1-2-3-4, 4-1 against Everton. What is happening to the man, Frank Lampard? Leicester City 0, Fulham 1. Pipped them at home there. And you have Manchester United. Actually, did well there. Casemiro, Michael Rashford. Well, they made it 3-0 against AFC Bournemouth there. Now, good one for Manchester United and also Brighton over Albion. Let's transfer that to the way the table is standing before Samson and Suleiman will be doing justice to that. Let's look at the table for the EPL. Arsenal, well, still there. Manchester United right now, they are really trying to at least get closer to the bigger boys now. Well, Manchester United have 35 points. Just by goal difference, they have behind Newcastle, actually have the same point, but on 21 goal difference. And you have right now Fulham are 7th on the log with 28 points. Brighton are 27th after playing 17 matches. Well, we have Chelsea 10th, Brentford 9th. If you flip it to the 11 to 20 position, talking about the EPL table now, let's look at from 11 to 20 of the EPL. Now, the way it stands, the Crystal Palace right now standing 11. Now, let's look at Everton. Everton are 16 on the log after they lost that game against Brighton. It was a shocking defeat for Everton. Frank Lampard seems to need to really work harder and smarter now. 15 points down the log there. You have Bournemouth standing 15 with 16 points, and also Nottingham Forest, Southampton, all that. But attention here is on Everton. You look at it like this, Suleiman. Everton seems to be back and front. They go front, they go back, they go front. In fact, they've been here for a while right now. Why people were celebrating Alex Iwobi for reaching 200 matches milestone? Look at what happened afterwards. It seems Frank Lampard shouldn't just be a coach, from the way I say it.
No, I don't think we have gotten to that point where we say Frank Lampard shouldn't just be a coach, because Carlo Ancelotti, one of the greatest ever coaches the game has ever seen, came in and it did not really work out. We've seen Frank Lampard take the job, it hasn't really worked out. Marco Silva took the job, it didn't really work out. Rafa Benitez, also in the conversation for one of the greatest coaches, when you look at what he achieved at Liverpool, he went there and it didn't really work out. But my concern for them is that when you look at Premier League, Arsenal and Everton are the only two teams that have never been relegated, and it's such a shame considering the passion, the footballing culture around Goodison. We know how much of a footballing side these Everton fans are. Are they going to be satisfied with relegation? But if you look at their run of form, if they continue with this run of form, they are definitely going to get relegated. And what I cannot comprehend or assimilate is how you can have such a talented squad. They have a good midfield, they have a good attacking lineup, but still can't put it together as an effective unit and win games. So at this point, I honestly do not know what Frank Lampard needs to do. Does he go back to the drawing board? But if you look at it financially, can they afford to offload Frank Lampard, considering they'll have to give him a compensation package and bring another manager? So I'm really worried for Everton. I don't really know what they go from here. I don't understand what they do.
Now, Noel Sampson.
I disagree with you on that, so because now, when the likes of Rafa Benitez and Ancelotti were there, they were not having such great players as now. But now you have such great players, and you Lampard. When he was at Chelsea, what did he do? You had great players there at Chelsea. You had the likes of Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham, Havertz was there. Ziyech, everybody. What did he do? He was sacked. Okay,
so when you look at what he did at Derby, he was a very good coach at Derby.
He
almost made it to the Premier League. Then he went to Chelsea. One thing I look at coaches is when I want to know if a coach, for me, is competent or has exceptional coaching ability, I look at the style of play. And when he coached Chelsea, the style of play was very convincing for me.
But he was still sacked.
And I look at Everton. But I feel you are wrong on your analysis when you say they don't have the players. Because when he was at Everton, when Carlo Ancelotti was at Everton, they brought in Alan for close to £40 million. They brought in Alan as a defensive midfielder from Napoli for close to £40 million. They brought in James Rodriguez, they brought in Digna, they brought in Andre Gomez. So they brought in 4 very good players, and they brought them from very experienced and competent sides. When you look at Rafa Benitez there, he got in Gray, he got in Iwobi, he got players for themselves. Frank Lampard has come in and he hasn't really gotten anybody, if we're being honest with ourselves. And if you look at throughout his period there, his time, the striker, I'm trying to remember his striker's name. His number 9, the focal point, he has been missing for most of the games, and he's just come back. Calvert-Lewin, thank you very much. He just came back and he hasn't really hit full match fitness. He hasn't been as sharp as he was under Carlo Ancelotti and Rafa Benitez. So I think we need to call him some slack. We can't just pin every single problem on Frank Lampard.
When he was in Chelsea, he had one of the best players so far. The same squad in Chelsea that he was able to even do anything. But the same squad, Thomas Tuchel came over and he won the Champions League, won the Super Cup, then won the World Cup with the same squad. Now, it means that if you give him the same, even players better than that, he won't do anything.
When you look at 2012 Champions League, it was the same thing. They got in an interim manager. He went on, he won the Champions League for Chelsea. But
he only won the Champions League.
Where is he today? Do you understand? The same thing with 2008 Champions League. Abraham Grant came in for the manager. He came in, he won the Champions League. He came in, made it to the finals. But where he is now? So I cannot really categorize or summarize greatness by the fact that you made it to the Champions League. You came in as an interim manager.
When it was in Derby, he nearly, but did he get to the Premier League? No. You cannot compare the pressure.
You look at the history of
pressure in Derby and that of Chelsea and that of Everton. It's quite different.
But let me tell you something. Sometimes it's more difficult when you are coaching relegation-based sides than Premier League sides. Because when you are coaching relegation-based sides, it's as if there is this focus and fixation that every single person needs to make it to the top 3 and make it to the Premier League. While the Premier League, some people are satisfied with being 8th or 9th because they are satisfied being with the fringe. You look at the commercial benefits of being in Premier League. But when you look at what he did at Derby, he almost made it to the playoffs. The reason he did not make Premier League that season is because of Aston Villa halted him. Yeah. But I'm just looking at it and saying that for me, he has convinced me as a coach with what he did. Okay. Things are not working out.
To me, as
I just have to call both of you right now because time is really running. But right now, let's talk about Arsenal. Arsenal against Newcastle ended goalless, but really a lot of issues here and there. Arteta trying to complain about the 2 penalties they could have gotten to make them win this game. And Newcastle, they fought hard against them at the Emirates. You just have to appreciate what they are doing at the Emirates, what they did at the Emirates. But really, that game between Arsenal and Newcastle, would you agree that those 2 chances were penalties?
No, for the first one, and this is why one of the reasons why I feel these refereeing decisions are not consistent. For me, I'm not a fan of Arsenal. I do not want them to win the league personally. But it seems that
you don't want them to win the league?
Yeah, because I'm a Man United fan. I don't want Arsenal to win the league, and I don't want Man City to win the league also. So it's confusing. But
do you want? Let me make it. Do you want Chelsea to win the league?
I only want Man United to win the league. I know Chelsea cannot win the league.
Don't say that.
I know Chelsea cannot win the league.
Don't say that.
But what I would say is that it seems that Premier League referees are not bothered about getting the right call, making the right decision. When you look at what was on the line, what is at stake, every single decision needs to exhibit a level of competence. Every single decision needs to be justified. And look at that, they should have gotten at least 1 penalty. And when they get that penalty, you see that the title of the game will just swing to Arsenal's favor. And Arsenal now will look at this game and obviously point fingers at the referees. If we come towards the end of the 38-match season and we see that Man City passes them 1 point, then they'll understand that we should have won this game and the referee just hit us in the butt.
Well, we've been giving you at least updates concerning the EPL there. Arsenal, despite the fact that they shared this spot against Newcastle United, they are still able to add 1 more, having 44 points there. Now, let's look at Spanish Copa del Rey. Matches were also played. Quickly, let's look at the result before we talk about the NWFL. Talking about the Spanish Copa del Rey result there. Espanyol 3-1 against Celta de Vigo. Villarreal, a good one for Chukwueze on song there. 5-1 against Cartagena. La Noche 0, Valencia 3. You have Elche, they lost against Celta FC. Casereno, they also lost against Real Madrid. While Getafe, it was a 5-goal thriller. 3-2 Levante Getafe. Sporting Gijon 2, Rayo Vallecano 0. And quickly, we run through women's football in Nigeria. Let's come back home as we talk about NWFL. Matches will be on today across different stadia in Nigeria. Bayelsa Queens will be playing against Osun Babes. Delta Queens will be hosting Niger Ratel of Abuja. Heartland Queens will be hosting Rivers Angels in that particular game in Abia State. And you quickly look at Group B. Also matches coming up. Nasarawa Amazons of Nasarawa State will be hosting Conference Queens of Kogi. Abia Angels at home against Adamawa Queens. And Edo Queens travel to Akwa Ibom to play against Ibom Angels in those matches that will be coming up in the match day 5 of the NWFL. And quickly, before we wrap it up, Italians, they are back. They'll be playing matches. Quickly, let's look at those fixtures that will be coming up. We have Salernitana against AC Milan. Big one there. Sampdoria Sassuolo, Spezia Atalanta, Hellas Verona, Torino, Lecce versus Lazio, Bologna against Jose Mourinho-led Roma. Over there in the city of Naples, you have Rome, and you have Cremonese against Juventus, Fiorentina, Monza, Napoli away to Inter Milan, but they're in Milan City, and you have Udinese against Empoli. The biggest match tonight is going to be between Inter Milan versus Napoli.
Very tough match there. Or team Napoli. Because of Osimhen there and because of them being top of the table now, so I believe they're going to win. They're going to win Inter Milan because they don't want to lose any points. Because the caliber of players they have at Napoli, the confidence they have now and everything they have in them now, so I'm sure they're going to win the match against them. Now I give it 2-1. 2-1. Yes.
Well, would you agree with that, Suleiman?
I think it's going to be a very difficult encounter because when you look at Inter Milan, one thing that they've shown this season is that when they come up against great or incredible opponents, they step up to the game. You saw they did to Barcelona. You saw that they had very good games against Bayern Munich also. So I'm looking at that team and I'm saying that Napoli, they are one of the best sides in Serie A right now if you look at how well they are playing, the cohesion, the chemistry. But when you look at Inter Milan, the fact that they step up, my only worry for Inter Milan is that Lautaro Martinez, is he back to match fitness considering that he was part of a team that won World Cup? Lukaku is not the guy he used to be, but their midfield is really looking really good. They have Viola, they have Shanalolu. So I believe that it's going to be a very difficult match, but I think I'll just swing towards Napoli. I'm not going to go 2-1 with Samson though.
Why you are swinging?
1-0.
Okay, in favor of who? Which team?
In favor of Napoli. I feel Napoli will just get a 9-minute goal because it's going to be a very
Napoli
difficult
is going
match.
to score first. Then probably Inter will equalize second half. Then that 9 minutes they're going to score.
So carry this your prediction to never bet at the rest.
Wait, guys. The fact that both of you actually tipped towards Napoli, right? Is it because Lukaku actually described Osimhen as the best striker in Italia Serie A or what?
No.
I don't think it's okay.
Apart from that, Napoli actually in best form now. It's just like Arsenal in England. Arsenal.
But remember, they went on break for the World Cup, and afterwards things could have changed.
I don't think so. It didn't change for Arsenal. I changed for Napoli.
Yeah, and the intriguing thing about Napoli is that most of their players did not necessarily start at the World Cup. It's only their defender Kim Jae-un, I think, or something like that. I'm sorry for the wrongful pronunciation of his name. But it's the only one that started at the World Cup that I could look in that team, and he went up to the round of 16 and they were out. So I just believe that what they have in the tank may be too much for Inter Milan, and the momentum, they are on form, best team in the league. So
let's go back to that fixtures now. Talking about Italia Serie A, really, you look at well, from the way it is right now, AC Milan will be playing away to Salernitana. Juventus against Cremonese, although they are newcomers, but you don't underrate them. They can be giant killers. But let's look at Roma versus Bologna. Roma, yes, they are kind of a team that you call them inconsistent. At times, they are very inconsistent, although they are one of the biggest teams in Italia Serie A. But their inconsistency, in fact, the name Sleeping Giant has really stuck with them.
When you look at Roma, Mourinho has come here, has injected a bit of energy, a bit of life. You can see that the atmosphere is different. They actually believe that they can be a consistent Champions League team under Jose Mourinho. He's he's brought in Tammy Abraham is doing a phenomenal job. He's brought in Dybala. Dybala will have a point to prove, showing that I did not get matches at the World Cup. I did not get minutes at the World Cup. I'm going to prove to you why I should have gotten more minutes. Tammy Abraham did not make it to the World Cup, so there's an asterisk there. He's going to try to show Gareth Southgate that he should have taken me to the World Cup. Maybe I should have had at least a very good run alongside Harry Kane in the 9 minutes of the game to get to an equalizer. But I'm just looking at them. You can see that every single thing is different. Mourinho has kind of had this transformative injection into the team, and it's actually quite incredible to see, because you want to see competition within this league. So you look at Roma, you look at AC Milan, you look at Napoli, you look at Inter Milan. I've not even called Juventus. So at least the league is getting more competitive than what we're accustomed to seeing from the Serie A in the past couple of years, where Juventus has won everything.
Well, while we're looking at that, let's look at this particular story that will be the end of the show. But really, Arsenal have really done well by at least running after Modric, of that's Ukrainian player who actually plays for Shakhtar Donetsk. But right now, news actually filtered in that Chelsea could hijack that deal. And from the way it is, Chelsea could hijack Arsenal's bid for Shakhtar Donetsk winger Mikhail Modric, and that will be another one, because we know what Barcelona did to Chelsea last season, getting almost all the players they wanted. Manchester United, Liverpool has done it to them this season so far concerning Cody Gakpo, and now Chelsea wants to do the same thing to Arsenal.
100% I support. They should do it.
You are in support?
Yes. We need everything available now. If you can buy Messi, we should buy Messi. We need everything available now.
You can see that obviously Chelsea have no transfer plan or transfer policy.
Don't say that.
Where exactly does it fit in team? If I'm the owner of Chelsea, I'm having one intention and one plan in mind.
But some players are going.
If I'm the owner of Chelsea, I'm having one intention and one plan in mind. I'm saying I'm going to write off this season, because this season I doubt there's a huge possibility they make Champions League. There's a huge possibility
Chelsea is not beating up this season.
They are not going to win the Champions League. They won't win the Premier League.
I might say Premier League, but Champions League, we are winning Champions League this season. Either you like it or not.
Let's not be ridiculous here.
No, it's not being ridiculous. It's not being ridiculous.
Well, one thing I know is that
we have one of the best run in Champions League so far now. You
have know that run, because I know that if you qualify from where you are, you play either Benfica or Club Brugge.
Either Benfica, Club Brugge.
But when you make it to the semi-finals, then you meet against the big boys, the Real Madrid, the Barcelona.
Last season, what did you do last season?
So what I'm saying is that if I'm doing that Chelsea, what I'm going to do right now is that I focus on next season. I get him Rice, because Rice has already said that he wants to leave West Ham. He wants to be in a big team. You know his relationship with Mason Mount. Rice and Mason Mount are best friends. Then I go in, put in a lot of money and get him Bellingham.
We don't need Rice.
I solidify that midfield with Rice and Bellingham. Then you can now start making a plan, a blueprint to how to build players around them. But for now, you are getting in Modric, you are getting in Fofana, you are getting in everybody. No plan, no strategy. What are they doing?
There's a plan.
What's the plan?
What's the plan?
The Champions League.
Champions League.
And the top 4 in Premier League.
No, I'm saying what's the plan for your first 11?
But if you look at the
consistency with
table now,
formation?
you are standing roughly in 10th.
Anything is possible. It's magic. Football is magic.
They are linked to everybody. They want to sign Ronaldo. They want to sign Messi. They want to sign Neymar. They want to sign Modric. They want to sign Dybala. They want to sign Mkhitaryan.
You can sign anybody you want to sign.
The money is not there. There's always financial fair play.
No. The money we can sign anybody who wants to sign. So we are going to win the Champions League, either you like it or not. I don't mind you. You are not happy for us. There's no problem about that. So it's normal. You are always against Chelsea. We are going to win the Champions League. We are going to go to that top and pick you back. We'll be 5th, just to win out by 4th. That will be the end of the table this season.
You pick Man U back. So
Yeah, to 5th. Then Chelsea will not be at the 4th position.
If Chelsea wins the Champions League, I'll buy an original Chelsea.
we just have to know now. This guy is
If Chelsea wins the Champions League, I'm buying him an
Are you
original
serious?
Chelsea jersey. I'll buy you an original Chelsea jersey.
Signed with a.
It's on TV, yes.
Signed with.
If Chelsea wins the Champions
Chelsea
League,
I'll get him an original Chelsea jersey.
With signed with a player autograph on it.
Well, I see the player.
You have to.
at least you guys actually made it very lively. But really, if Chelsea wins, according to Suleiman, he gets you a Chelsea
Not just a
jersey.
signed Chelsea.
But where will he get the player
I
that
don't
will
want
sign?
to know. He has
Okay, good one there, Anwar Samson and Suleiman Shoaibu. I want to appreciate you guys for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
Well, either Chelsea sign or not, it has been a wonderful time when it comes to 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.